Oh my god, ladies and gentlemen, we have got some massive, and I mean massive spoilers for the latest fairy tale chapter, chapter 507, and some answers that we've wanted for a very long time, alongside with the E.N.D. stuff. We seemingly have a identity to Eileen after all this time, and boy, have we got some stuff. I wasn't expecting this for a while, like the confrontation between Erza and alongside Eileen, but Jesus, have we got some stuff and all that to talk about this immediately and all that, and boy, have we got some stuff. So, you don't want to know about these spoilers and all that, then, you know, Skadoodle, we're going to be going in 3, 2, 1, let's make some noise, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go and talk about these spoilers immediately. So, we're going to be talking about the first page. We get to see a nice little colour page, although it's, like, really kind of, like, pointless. Like, they're cute and all that. It's a nice little happy thing, so, like, some little fish crazy thing, and I thought that was a little cute thing to mention along the side. I definitely like it when, like, he does, like, these little cover pages and all that, showing just a bunch of random stuff on the page. I kind of wish he showed like some of his like Twitter pictures on there or something on there to entice it, but definitely I think this was a kind of nice thing. It's like, hey, there you go, if you love happy and all that, you can have that adorable part to it. The next page and all that is definitely, it's kind of like another way how it's being translated. We do see a picture of Makarov, and this, I believe, is what Erza is talking about, like where she's probably, this is how she calms Natsu and also as well Grey down when she's like hugging them, and it's just like, no, this is like in, like, you know, all of Makarov's memory and all that, and you know, the fight, it's okay to fight sometimes and all that, it's normal if you're honest with yourself and all that, but don't hate and don't, like, you know, come out with a grudge and all that, you know, that's what we are, we're family. And just, you see this like page, it's just like Erza with like both her like arms just completely messed up, like holding both of them. And from what we can see in this panel, like a lot of people didn't notice, Natsu is seemingly back to normal now. Like he hasn't got that black shadowed out like face that he did. Like all of his side of his face here, like up to here, was completely shaded out. So I think this somehow must have knocked Natsu out like into senses. And Grey as well, we can clearly see as well by transformation, it's seemingly like his Ice Devil Slayer stuff is gone as well. And this was kind of like the wake up call that they needed, as the two just pretty much passed out like clear exhaustion. And we see like Lucy managed to meet up with them as like holding Natsu, and it's just like, oh yeah, you know, like I'm fine and all that. It's like, oh, Lucy and all that, and she's just there like holding him, just like, oh my god, thank god you're okay. Same thing with Juviel on that. Like, it doesn't seem like Grey is like actually unconscious. It's like, I was actually able to see him, and I was like, that was something I actually kind of liked. It was like, oh, that's something, like, you know, like we're seeing a little bit too of the two girls, you know, appearing on there. And definitely I kind of wish that it was Lucy that broke up this fight, but like even still, like I think the fact is that it's still keeping the fact that Erza's arms are completely wrecked, and I hope that is something that's like going to be happening, like that keeps to it. But I'm wondering where exactly the next chapter is going to be going down with, especially that. And then after we saw the two girls and all that, like being with their guys and all that, we definitely saw then was August with Jalal. Jalal has been fighting him alongside with Crime Sorcerer, and that was something where I was like, okay, that was not a fight that we was thinking at all to that go against these foes. And I was like, Crime Sorcerer going against these guys, like, you know, how is that exactly going to work on there, like from like all what we've seen from there? Because definitely when we saw, like, you know, Jalal's powerful, but he is nowhere near enough on that level and all that to go against him, like to clearly go against August. And I think this is just like, he just happened to encounter him during this time, and I'm kind of wondering and all that, are we going to have to guild out Superior and all that? It's like because we can see, like, he's not being damaged at all. Clearly not. He hasn't had a shred of damage on him, and Jalal, and from what we see from the far background, Midnight. So I'm wondering if the entire of like Crime Sorcerer, like everyone, like Racer, Angel, have all of them been like going against this guy, like to try and deal with him, because clearly this guy is on another level and all that. So definitely making August very goddamn intimidating. I'm really liking that in the chapter and all that, and just like looking how badass how he is and all that. He's still got the like the very weak light. He's still got that kind of like dark, like kind of shaded skin along his body. I'm kind of wondering a little bit more. We still haven't got an explanation on that. Like, I guess that's just what happens when he's just ready for battle. He's ready to mess up some opponents. And the next page is what we've wanted to see and all that, and that is Eileen meeting up with Erza. And it was like, okay, what's she going at? And she's like, from what we got from a little bit of the translation, thanks to Yonko and all that, it was saying that, you know, she's shown up saying, it's been a while, Erza, how you been? And Lucy's like, you know, who is she and all that? Like, do you know this chick and all that? And Erza knows it, and she's saying, no, I have no idea who this is. And Wendy's like, you know, she looks kind of like Erza. And this is the reveal that we've wanted to offer, and she clearly says, I am you and you are me. So that's where we're talking about. Now, I've said for the longest time and all that I think this is a mother-daughter thing and all that from like the script, because a lot of the times we've had from the very early spoilers, especially from the latest volume, they've shown her very older version of like Irene, and clearly from what they were going off with that last panel where we see half of her face shaded off and all that, clearly showing like saying, you know, oh, I'm half of you, but this is the evil side of me. Now the question is, what exactly does she mean by that? We've had the evidence, and a lot of people were still going, trying to debunk the theory. What I was trying to suggest was by saying she says she knows future magic. So we've got time travel in this series. Can this talk about that she's like future Erza? This is what happened, like Erza that went down a dark path, and I'm wondering what exactly does she mean by that. There was another, like, also as well, there was another YouTuber, like, I forget his name at the moment, but like definitely and all that, if he sees this comment, he knows exactly his theory. He's saying that maybe Erza is perhaps like one of like Irene's enchanted weapons and turned into a human. Like, personally, I don't think that, but I generally think what they're going by this and all that, saying like, you are part of me. It's definitely like alluding to, like, you know, that maybe this is a future Erza of some kind, or like even to the fact that this might be an Endless version of her, like kind of like how Nightwalker, maybe there's some sort of different scenario, there's some different dimension, we don't know. There's just so many different variables to add into Irene, and I'm really excited to see that. And then 508 is being titled Pleasure and Pain, so I'm wondering what exactly, are we finally going to get those like answers from her? It blows my mind on that, see that. And big question is, I want to know and all that, if that's the case, of like, you know, especially on her, because like how like she's got her like gauntlets and all that, like we've seen from there, like Erza's like actual fairy tale mark should be there. So when she had that, unless she had it actually like forcibly removed, we still need the answer as well, that she's got that massive scar on her. And it seems so unlikely for this Erza, especially, is like, why, if that's the case, then did she abandon her equip magic through enchanting magic? Very wondering about that, but that's the case and all that. My god, she like definitely she looks a lot better in it if she had that time skip and all that. But I'm very curious about that, because clearly, like, you know, I was very like more confident, and that's fine. Like, if I can admit that I'm wrong on a theory and all that, I'm perfectly fine if I'm completely wrong about this. But it was definitely preluding to like a while that it was going to be like Erza's daughter or some sort of relative and all that, from like those older screenshots that we saw of her. So I'm really wondering where this is going on that, and I think like leaving us on that teaser and all that right at the end and all that, it's like, oh my god, what an absolute cliffhanger to leave us on. And I'm goddamn excited for this next fairy tale chapter coming into it. And definitely, yeah, again and all that, like, I know, like, how we had to keep saying, like, oh, like, you know, and the whole Makarov thing, no, they're treating Makarov like he's dead, and I love that. Like, that's definitely, like, straight up and all that, you know, and just building Erza up, and at least, if anything, I hope I'm right with and all that. I hope this is the right moment and all that for Erza to pick up the throw. I don't know if the fight is going to be, again, between Irene and Erza, because she's so injured at this point, and I think she's just there to mock them, because clearly she had the goal of finding Maths at the moment, but I think she just wanted to be here, strut her stuff, and definitely just, like, look intimidating in front of them, because you've got like all your big hitters are out at the moment. Like, you've already, Gildance is over like somewhere fighting in a different part of the war and all that. You've got Gray and Nats who are completely out of like energy and all that. They're completely tucked out, so they're like, no way, not after like their clash, they're not going to be ready to do that. Like, Lucy can't take her on. Erza is wrecked up as well. Like, the only possible thing that you can do is like maybe Mavis can buy them some time. It's like, if anything, to get them out of there. Like, it's definitely a peculiar situation, but it's kind of nice to know that finally both the most powerful people of like, from what we've seen of the Sriggers, are finally out there. We've got August out on the battlefield, definitely pulling out some work on it. Definitely, like, if Jalal's having that much of a struggle, then you know how powerful he is. Him and the rest of Crime Sorcerer definitely putting August on that very high pillar level. And we've seen Irene already, like, just in, like, she can just make soldiers just like buffed up, and that costs like Makarov's life. I think she's clearly there to show like how much like intimidating she is, and she's like gonna like rub it in Erza's face about how she killed Makarov. So I'm very curious to know where that's going to be going, if like Erza's just going to snap and just go at her, even with her busted up arms. Definitely 507 is turning out to be something fantastic, and I cannot wait for like more of this coming out in Fairy Tail. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. What do you think about this happening in Fairy Tail? Like, the fact that we've got this like evil Erza kind of going on now. It's like, definitely I love that, and just the way of that last panel was like, I am you and you and me, and just that dark shade of that panel. It's like definitely showing the two sides of the same coin, like definitely where they're going with it. And it's like, I'm very glad now. That's just something we've wanted to know ever since she first appeared, where it was like the Scarlet Despair, like against, you know, like Titania. I really can't wait and all that. I hope that at least if they're gonna clash, I don't want this to be the full fight just yet, because I think Erza's just not in that condition to do it yet. But definitely, if that's the case and all that, I definitely am looking forward to that. If anything, I want August kind of do first, and I want like definitely with Irene, I want it to be kind of one of the last few opponents that we've got, because we still got the White Dragon Eel to face off with, and we still need answers about that. But definitely one of the mysteries of Fairy Tail is finally being answered, and Irene, the Scarlet Despair and all that, perhaps being the future Erza, and I can't wait for the full translation to finally understand more about exactly what Irene means about that. But what do you guys think in the comment section down below? Finally getting this reveal about Irene, what do you think about that? And also as well, just let me know, would you like kind of the same people like me, where I was like, oh, I actually think she's like a mother and daughter sort of situation, but for all we know, there's still more to the story that we need to know and all that. But fantastic chapter and all that. I cannot wait for the full version, and it's just, oh, just give me more Fairy Tail. Like, the last couple of weeks of Fairy Tail has just been nuts. It's just been absolutely on fire. But that is all from me, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you much for watching as always, and I will see you guys, though, next time.